Okay, right now we're going to get ahead a little bit. I have our amp directed into... our amp is being controlled by envelope generator 2. I'm going to choose envelope generator 1 as our modification of this sound. Wow. See, not weedy. So whatever you set envelope generator 1 to is going to control your filter cutoff point. And of course you can switch it to envelope generator negative. So you can get a negative envelope going to this filter's cutoff point. It sounds great and allows you, again, sometimes when you go and have a negative envelope directed to the filter, you get these kind of more effecty sort of sounds that are less utilitarian. But again, we can layer that atop a just nice, clear triangle bass, and it becomes a timbral aspect, which is so much more functional than so many synthesizers. It's weird. And of course, we can use right now, like envelope generator 2 is controlling the filter, and we have it set to just the most basic sustain output. But we could change it. And, you know, certainly these things are beneficial if you're in the midst of playing and you need your sound to change. Completely different sounds just in one of your filters, just by switching the two different, switching through the 3 different envelope settings. So that is unparalleled, bizarrely powerful. Well, it's probably not unparalleled, but come on, that's a lot for a synthesizer that you guys don't pay very much for. And it sounds that good. So then that's just us using one oscillator going through a single filter. Then let's try turning on VCO2. So we obviously have 2 different filters doing 2 different things. And that's the point where this just gets too complicated, because, you know, you could do anything. These filters could be set completely to 2 completely different things. And you basically have 2 synthesizers stacked on top of each other. And that is the core excitement of the CS-15. It's 2 synthesizers that you can set to anything. They have their own VCO, they have their own VCF, they have their own VCA, and technically their own envelope. So you can just make 2 completely different synthesizer sounds and stack them on top of each other. And that's not a thing that you'll find in many synthesizers from the 1970s or even today. And you can still get this thing cheaper than you can get a lot of synthesizers because it's so powerful. And there's a lot of them floating around. That's the other weird thing. There's a lot of these kicking around and people just buy them. And I think they put it on bandpass filter and then they're like, and they don't have any resonance and they're like, oh, that sounds thin. Oh, that sounds reedy. Let's do it on this. Oh man, where's the low end? No, that's no fun at all. I think that's what's happening. But with a little bit of synthesis and diligence, well, not even any diligence, just freaking set it up and give it some bass and it's there. So these two filters, when working together, it's bizarre and powerful, and the routings are almost modular, to be honest. This is me directing VCO1 into filter 1 and filter 2. So you can get like this transient sound. It just happens at the beginning and then the sound continues. And of course, you have to keep in mind that having the LFO mod and the envelope generator depth on at the same time, they're going to affect each other and create even more complex sounds. So we hear the envelope happen. Envelope generator 1 affects the filter cutoff frequency, and then we hear the LFO mod pick up from there. Meanwhile, the sound that we have going over here is still just doing its thing. And these sounds are sounds that we got into in synthesizer culture more in the 90s, these really squelchy sort of filter sounds, because we didn't have functional setups in the vintage synths that did this sort of thing. The more modern synths, not even analog at that point, were the ones that created sounds like this. And that's what we often used in the 90s to get these really squelchy sounds. But you didn't hear people using stuff like this in 1979, and you could have, and that's depressing. And let's not forget that the LFO has the ability to be in the audio range, which you can also direct to your filter. Here, let's drop some of this stuff out. So you can get all kinds of crazy sounds like that. But if we back it, the mod off, we can just use it to grit up the filter. It's kind of interesting. It almost seems like the pitch is affecting the LFO rate. And setting it sample and hold is like noise modulation of the filter. So yeah, so many filter types, so many envelopes, so many different possibilities for LFO modulation. It just gets crazy. So many possibilities for VCO routing. It's out of control.